Welcome to a brand new Gearycast, the Malaga fan podcast for all the Gearys out there. My name is Chris Marquez, and today we are having our preview show towards maybe a key moment in Malaga season where they can be safe. We will talk about it with Sergio.
How
Hi,
you
Sergio.
doing,
How are you?
Chris? Liking your views.
Yeah,
You haven't
still have the
changed.
same
You
views.
haven't changed since the other day.
It's it's Wednesday, and nothing changed as you can see. It's all the same. Even my clothes are the same. It
Yeah.
just looked like we recorded straight after the previous review episode. How are you, Sergio? Good?
Yeah, I'm doing really well, mate. Recovering from last Sunday, terrible game, but as always, looking forward to Saturday. Perfect time for football. So yeah, looking forward
And,
to Malaga win.
and I think it's about exam time at universities around Malaga. Did you
Yeah,
have
what?
them
Sorry.
already? It's exam times.
Oh no, it's more work time for me. Doing
Oh,
like a lot of work. Exams I've got in June, so
you're
still
lucky.
a few weeks to
June is
suffer
still
that.
far
But
away.
yeah, yeah, not
And
too
we go
far, not too far.
straight over to Germany, where they have just waved a head coach goodbye, where he jumped into the stands, waving and celebrating goodbye. Hi, Joe.
Hello, Chris. Hello, Sergio. Yeah, it's true. Of course, I mentioned previously, so my German club would be Bayer Leverkusen, and Xabi Alonso looks like he's on his way to Madrid. Maybe Malaga will be meeting him in La Primera in the 26-27 season. Let's see.
Or maybe Copa del Rey.
True.
Yeah,
Also that.
true.
Are
Or
you
maybe
sad
it'll
that
be
he's
some.
leaving? Is there a sad Joe?
Yeah, I think so. But it's also not a surprise. Like a lot of people kind of accept that Leverkusen are a stepping stone club, and for a lot of players and managers. And of course, when that manager is a former Real Madrid manager, and when Real Madrid aren't in a great situation, they need a new manager. It was a high chance it was going to happen, but I think Leverkusen fans are used to it. Lots of change, I guess, similar to Malaga as well in the last few years.
Is Klopp going to be the next man for Leverkusen? Or I don't know many German managers actually.
I think the main rumors are between Ten Hag,
Ten Hag,
and
really?
yeah, Ten Hag, Xavi, and Fabregas.
Fabregas, yeah,
I mean,
Fabregas.
the
Yeah,
main
Fabregas.
rumors. Yeah,
Hmm. I think Fabregas is in Como,
yeah,
Hmm.
not doing so
Cool.
well this season, right? They're having a bit of a tough season.
Yeah. I think they're a newly promoted, very young
Hmm.
squad. But it's always good to see even more Spanish managers being successful. You don't get that in England. There's no good English managers, maybe apart from one or two. But there's Spanish managers everywhere,
That that's a,
all over Europe. So
that's a new hype, though. I
yeah,
mean, there weren't many Spanish managers in Germany. I think before Xabi Alonso, I think there was Pep Guardiola.
true.
I couldn't
Um,
think of another one.
Hmm.
there's got to be
I don't know.
someone,
Yeah, it's
but
got to be some.
yeah.
But yeah, we're not
Anyway,
here to talk about Germany,
Bundesliga.
Leverkusen, or exams. We are here to talk about a preview of Malaga Club de Football, who can be secure of playing in Segunda Division next season. Sergio, um, are you nervous?
Not nervous. I'm more excited because I really can't wait to Malaga to get the job done. I just want to have a couple of games that calm with everything done, uh, looking at other teams suffer instead of Malaga. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's it's going to be a very good game. Always, I like playing against this Sporting. I think they're a big club, and it's a perfect time. A Saturday, 9 o'clock kickoff. So, what else can you ask for?
Joe, are you confident?
Yeah, as long as there's no red cards after 5 minutes, that'd be nice. I think we were all kind of confident, at least for a draw going into the Eldense game. But of course, that game was, as we already talked about, was changed after, yeah, like I said, barely 7 minutes. But I think, yeah, Malaga can do a job. Of course, there'll be a change in defence, but I think back at La Rosaleda will be a great opportunity to finally wrap it up with a couple of games to go and, yeah, to relax for the last couple of games of the season. And
That would be nice. One very important thing towards this very important match, I would say, is that Fondo Sur is organizing another recibimiento towards this match. I believe 7 o'clock in La Rosela. Well, at the I don't know how do you call the street, but it's on the corner where the old fan shop was. Um, and there will be another recibimiento. That shows a bit the importance of this match. As you have said, Joe, there will be some differences um, in the back because Einar is suspended for the next match. You have thought of any player who should be on his position?
I think is obviously going to be Pastor. Is there many other options? Anyone from the youth academy might bring in, take the risk.
The only thing I can think you can do is put Ethan as a centre back, but I don't think he'll do that. But it's an option.
Sergio, who should play in your Sergio Pellicer now? Who should play in the position of Einar?
I think she'll be Pastor. In my opinion, I think he's our best centre back. I think he's good on the ball. He's rapid. So yeah, I mean, if you're going there, you should be playing.
Is this also maybe a moment to take a look at Recio from Atletico Malagueno? Call him up to be on the bench.
Oh yeah, definitely on the bench. Yeah, but I think to start it's quite a risk because
Yeah.
it's an important game for Malaga. I think they need to get the 3 points, and I don't think it's the perfect moment to bring him in. If we do get the job done, the next 2 games that I think we've got left or 3, I think it's perfect moment to give the chance to these players because they've already finished the league with Malagueño. So yeah, hopefully we get the job done and we can start to see these players coming in the first team.
Joe, would you get him back from holiday? Angel Recio?
I mean, who are the other backup defenders? What if there's another red card? I think I'd also assume it's an honour for any young player to be called up to the first team. Like I said, if he's going to start with the same personnel with Murillo, Pastor, Monte, yeah, who's gonna cover them? Unless you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna try and fit in a more defensive-minded midfielder, but of course that's also a risk. I think you've always got to have at least one natural position defender on the bench, and like I said, I assume he'd be very happy to be in that environment, and
I think their holiday started already, but if Malaga calls, Malaga calls. I don't know. I didn't have any news of people training with the first team this week, or players who are not used to train with the first team. So I'm not sure if it's going to happen. I would like to see him on the bench. I also think Pastor is the best option. But I'm sure that Pellicer will come with a plan. And Sporting Gijon, they also have something to play for, isn't it, Sergio?
Well, if I'm not wrong, I don't know if they're already saved, or I don't know if they are because they won last weekend. I think,
Yeah, you're right.
if I'm not
I think
mistaken. I think
quite not quite safe. There's 7 points difference with 9 to play for, so it's probably similar to what
So,
the situation in Malaga in last week.
so if they're not safe, worse, even worse, because if they've got something to play for, it's going to be a very tough match. I think they're a good side, got good players, and yeah, I think it's a big game. I always like to play them. I think they're a club that should be in the first division, or at least always opting to be there. But as we seen in these last few years, they're struggling a bit. A part of last year, that if I'm not wrong, they did make it to the playoffs and they got knocked out in the semi-finals. But they've got that Malaga vibe, like yeah, Zaragoza as well. These big clubs are suffering a lot when they shouldn't be. So so yeah, it's going to be a big game, and we're playing at home, so we need to go and get the 3 points.
I'm not going to lie. I'm a bit worried because Castellon has 49 points. They are playing against Eldense. The gap with Eldense is 6 points. And although, I mean, playing against Gijon, who is also there, who also need a point because although the difference is 7 points, how much confidence did Eldense get from that win against Malaga? That's a question, Joe.
Yeah, I mean they were in quite, I think, fairly poor form before that, and I think they knew that it was a must win, and to get that win, no matter the circumstances, maybe they were running close to not giving up, but they're like almost thinking, okay, this is gonna be impossible. We have to win today, and once you get that win, I guess it kind of ignites you to keep going. Of course, like I said, they have a tough game away at Castellon, but they will go into the game knowing they have to win, and um, yeah, like I said, it's not as comfortable as maybe we all felt after the win last week versus Granada. It's still, like I said, in Malaga's hands. There's still a lot of bad things that have to happen for the worst case scenario. But it's football. Football can go in crazy directions. But yeah, Malaga just have to do their job on uh, on Saturday, and also hope for a
I'm a
favour in Castellon. So
Yeah, I'm a bit worried. I'm not going to lie. There because there are still 9 points in play and a difference with Gijon, sorry, with Eldense of 6 points. And although I don't know, I have this feeling, I have this horrible feeling inside of me, which says it's not done yet,
I
and
think
it still can be very difficult because let's not hope it happens, but let's say if Malaga would lose upcoming weekend against Gijon, then the difference could be 3 points.
true,
And then there we have a serious problem
Hmm.
true,
because that means Eldense won 2 matches in a row
true.
and Malaga would have lost 2 matches in a row. If that happens, I don't know. I think it will be very difficult because Malaga has 3 matches left, and those 3 matches are against Sporting Gijon. The next week it's going to be Elche Malaga. Well, we all know the situation of Elche, and in the last week we play Burgos. So we have 2 matches which are going to be very difficult for Malaga. Um,
Yeah,
let's not say almost impossible because Elche is on top of the table. They could be champions next week if they, or even this week could be possible if Levante loses and Elche wins. Um, but Elche could play against Malaga for the title. So that's a thing. The week after we play against Burgos, who sit in 11th position, which is also a pretty strong team. So Elche away isn't going to be very easy. although we won at home against Elche, if I'm remembering correct. Um, but yeah,
No, we lost 3
we
0.
lost. Yeah.
Mm.
Then we won against Burgos, was it?
Malaga did beat Sporting 3-1 in the reverse
Mm.
fixture, so that's
Yeah,
something
but
to cling on to.
I think this is a whole different situation because
Yeah.
now this is like a real final for both teams.
But
Yeah.
So
even Rocco was scoring back then, so it's definitely
yeah,
different.
Yeah.
but let's look at the agenda for this weekend. We have kicking off this Jornada 42, Almeria versus Tenerife. Well, that will be an easy win, I guess, for Almeria. Castellón against Zaragoza. Oh, so they're not playing against the.
I think on
That's
the
good
wrong
news.
week.
Yeah, we have Castellón against Zaragoza. Sorry for my fuck up earlier. Cordoba against Albacete. Deportivo against Elche. Cartagena.
You're on the wrong Jornada, Chris.
Oh
You're
yeah,
on
I'm
the
the wrong
last day in
Granada.
Segunda.
Yeah, that's why.
It
I,
is,
I, I'm.
yeah, it's Castellón Eldense. Yeah.
We're going. I was looking at the wrong page. I'm very sorry. We have Levante, Albacete kicking off this weekend. Deportivo against Granada. Eibar against Burgos. Cartagena against Tenerife. That's the least exciting match of the whole Segunda División, I guess. We have Malaga Sporting, Racing Ferrol against Cádiz, Castellón Eldense, Oviedo Zaragoza. That's also a very important match for Malaga because
Correct.
Zaragoza is the only team between us and Eldense. We have Almeria Racing and Cordoba Mirandés. So yeah, it's going to be a very, very exciting match. Um, let's see how Malaga is, well, not how Malaga, how Sporting will come to La Rosaleda and we get a little lowdown on Sporting de Gijon of our friends of the Segunda show with the name of Alex Fitzpatrick.
Malaga didn't quite get the job done on Sunday lunchtime against Eldense. They needed just a point to secure mathematical safety, but the fact that they lost against Eldense means that now they need 3 points to secure mathematical safety, and they play before Eldense this weekend. So a win against Sporting in La Rosaleda would be enough to secure that mathematical safety. And they do it against a team who are in a pretty similar position to Malaga themselves. I think just a point ahead, perhaps, of them in the table. The difference being between the two sides, great old stadiums, great history, huge fan bases. And the big difference this season has been Sporting have changed their coach. Garitano in charge, whereas Malaga haven't. And it was that change of coach that brought the change in fortunes and an improvement in results for Sporting, and a little tweak to the shape. Instead of playing 4-3-3, playing 4-2-3-1, getting a more attacking midfielder in there into their team. One of their key players is Jonathan Dubassan, and it remains to be seen whether he will be available for this game. He missed last weekend's game through injury and may not be able to play in this one at La Rosaleda. On top of that, they have Juan Otero up front, who is their main centre forward, but very little behind him really in terms of backup or quality. So if you can keep him quiet and they have to take him out of the game, they haven't got a whole lot to replace him with. I think we're going to see a cagey game with two teams that certainly don't want to lose, and that might mean that we're in for another draw for Malaga, but that would edge them ever closer to their points tally required. And remember, I've said that Malaga required 3 points to be mathematically safe, but even if they were to draw or lose, if Eldense were to lose on Sunday, then that would be Malaga safe. So it's in your own hands on Saturday, and if you can't get it done on Saturday, then all eyes on Eldense. If they lose themselves, then that will be Malaga safe another year in Segunda.
So, does that bring you any positive feelings, Sergio?
Well, I mean, the only thing that positive to me is it's on Malaga's hands. If we get the 3 points in our stadium, we're safe. So I think that's the key this week, that we get our job done, so we don't have to depend on other teams and another result. So yeah, hopefully we can do it. And I think that something that we haven't mentioned is that we managed to keep the goal difference with Eldense. So it's, if we finish level on points, we would be above them. So
Yeah.
I
True.
think
Yeah.
at least that's another positive, that, or at least a positive that we can get from the game on Sunday, because Malaga won 3-0 against Eldense and they only managed to score one against us. So yeah, that's something important.
Do you guys know who the goalkeeper is of Sporting Gijon?
It's Yanes,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Former Malaga goalkeeper Yanis. What do we think? He played, if I'm right, 37 matches, conceded 43 goals. Not really good stats, is
I
it?
think I saw he has the third highest saves per game in the league, which is obviously behind Herrero and another goalkeeper. So it seems he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
So that Alex mentioned in his recording that there's not much behind their star player. Otero, so it sounds like it's a team made up of a good goalkeeper and a good forward, and Matt Dubasin as well, who he mentioned, who
Yeah.
might not be available.
Otero has
Yeah.
11 goals this season so far. So that's quite a decent amount of goals looking at
Yes.
their position. And Dubasin has 9 assists
And 8 goals. It's not too bad
and 8
actually.
goals. Yeah, it's
Quite a,
pretty good.
yeah, that's
Not at
really
all.
good for them. But
I'm
yeah,
a I'm a bit frightened when I see teams doing so good. If I'm honest, well, not so good. I
Yeah.
mean, they're not doing very good, but I mean, a goal scorer with 11 goals helps, isn't it?
Hmm. Oh yeah, of course. I mean,
Malaga
that's
missing.
our main problem, that we haven't got players that can get us goals. So it is something that certainly we do need to improve for next season. We need someone that can get us the goals. Even though I have to give credit to Dioni, because I think he's done a good season, but obviously we can't depend on it, because at the beginning of the season we all were thinking that he will not even get any minutes. So it
I
is
I
a position to improve, certainly.
I totally agree. What should Malaga change, or what should Malaga change something, Joe, for the
Hmm.
upcoming weekend?
So I mean, that's the question. Really, is like, where do the goals come from? Of course, Chipetti had the moment. Did Chipetti scored against Granada? I can't remember. It was against Castellon.
It was
But
Antonito scoring against Granada with the
sure, it was
penalty.
against
Yeah.
Castellon with Chipetti.
Yeah,
To be honest, of course, we already mentioned Pastor. Apart from that, everything's been quite solid. It's just the goals. I think we can go over and over again where the goal's going to come from. I think we're always going to see Arubia on the right. It's always going to be Lebeto kind of more on the left. Who's going to go down the middle? I assume he'll go with Chipetti again, but maybe it's time to bring in a more experienced Pioni. But it's kind of the
I think.
same outcome.
Yeah. What do you think, Sergio?
I would bring Bulga in the team again. I think
Yeah.
he offers a lot. And yeah, I think I would be playing in front of Nito on the right side. So yeah, that would be my change. I think the rest, apart of Einar that is obviously out. I would play Pastor in that position, and I think I would bring Pua in the
I have
team. I've
another
got my doubts with Manu Molina. I don't know if I would start Manu Molina as well.
that's the question I was going to have because
Mm,
Manu Molina, a key player for Malaga in almost every match this season.
mm,
Over the past few matches, Malaga started without him. It is true that he always come on as a substitute.
mm.
Um, is it a moment to start with Manu Molina?
Yeah, I think it's a time. It's a game that is going to require experience. So I do think it's important that he comes back in the team. I think Ethan has been doing really good, but maybe in this game I see him more as a bench option for him to come in in the second half and make that impact because I think he's a very physical player. And yeah, we'll be starting Manu Molina, obviously with Luis Me because yes, as I said, it's a game that's going to require experience against the Sporting. So yeah, let's see if we can at least have more control of the ball than we did on Sunday. I think we will personally. And yeah, we need La Rubia to be active. We need Lobete to be active, and let's see what can happen.
We lost visuals with Joe,
Can you
and
still
I'm
hear me?
yeah, we can still
Yeah,
hear you,
okay.
Joe.
I think my laptop's broken. I don't know what's going on, but I'll try to save it. I
As
don't
long
know
I
if
as
you
we
think
can.
can hear you, we're okay.
it's the talking about Malaga.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's too much. I can't handle it.
Too much.
it is too much.
I can see myself on the screen still, but I can't. I can see you, but I can't do. I don't want to touch anything. I don't want to break it. So I'm gonna. You got my
Yeah,
voice now.
we have your
Yeah.
voice. 9 o'clock Saturday. Is that a good day? Is it a good time, Sergio? You will be there.
Yeah. I think one of my favourite times for football on a Saturday. We've got all afternoon to be around the stadium. As you said, Chris, they're going to do the recibimiento, so it's going to be a really good atmosphere. I believe, like they always do, there'll be some away support because Sporting usually bring people. So yeah, I'll be there. Chris, I imagine you'll be there as well. So
I
yeah,
have
can't wait.
no other plans. That's the only
Yeah,
plan I have so far
it's
for
booked.
Saturday.
It's booked
Um,
already to be in La Rosaleda.
yeah, but I really like this 9 o'clock thing on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
On a Sunday, a little bit less, because why? It gives you the whole Saturday to do other things as well. Go to the
True.
beach, as you can see behind me for the people watching us on YouTube. That the weather in Malaga is actually pretty good this week. So the forecast is also for the rest of the week pretty good. So I think I like to do some other stuff as well. And of course, I'll go to the recibimiento. I will be a bit earlier around La Rosaleda, but it's not that I have to go to La Rosaleda around 2 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like if I
Yeah.
go 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I'm perfectly on time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, Joe,
Hello, I'm still here.
I know in Holland they play around 2:30 in the afternoon, 12:30 midday.
True.
What is a bit the German football times?
So there's always a Friday night game.
Yeah,
Then the first games on the Saturday are always at 3:30. Then there's usually one at 5:30. And then there's usually a couple on the Sunday as well. Never on a Monday. Obviously, German fans protest a lot against these things. They also don't want the Friday night game. But for me personally, I think 9 o'clock on a Saturday is a really nice time, especially when you know the weather's going to be great. You know you'll be catching up with friends at the for
and
a beer
maybe
or
maybe the best thing is that if Malaga wins next Saturday,
there's party time.
you get at the perfect time because you are the perfect time after the match because the match will end. You probably leave La Rosaleda around 11 o'clock,
Mm.
um, and you have the time to walk to the city or get the bus and get wasted until 5, 6 in the morning in Malaga Center. Um, so the perfect time basically for a perfect match. Joe, do you dare to give us a prediction for next Saturday?
Look, I'm gonna be say one thing negative and one thing half positive. I struggle to see Malaga scoring more than one goal, so I'm thinking it's gonna be 1-1
And you,
or 1-0.
Sergio?
No, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. They're
Oh
not
no.
scoring.
Okay, that's positive. That's
They're not
positive.
scoring. It's
Yeah.
not happening. It's not happening. They're not scoring.
Sergio.
Yeah, I'm going to be confident and I'm going to go with a 1-0 as well.
I don't know. 1-0 is not very confident, but it's confident. It's
It's enough
confident.
though.
For Malaga, it is. Come on.
But today we're doing another prediction. Joe, give me your prediction for Eldense. Well, Castellon versus Eldense.
3-1 Castellon.
Interesting. And you,
Yeah.
Sergio?
1-0 dancing. But we'll be
Oh,
fine because
really?
we will be fine because we would have done our job. So
I'm going to say Malaga will win 1-0 as well, because that seems to be the result in La Rosaleda.
yeah.
Now let me go crazy. I will say 2-0 Malaga. A goal of David La Rubia and a goal of Dioni. I don't know why. And I think it's. I mean, the Eldense match against Castellon. Castellon plays such attacking football, and I think they really have to. I will say 2-0 Castellon, and
we
that
like
will
that.
mean
Hopefully.
we are safe, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
As long as we win, we are safe. And else, the most important thing is if we draw, because we play before them. So we're going to explain this one more time. If we win, Eldense lose, we are safe. If we draw, Eldense loses, we are safe. And if we lose, Eldense loses, we are safe as well. The only thing that shouldn't happen is Eldense to win and we to lose.
So the one stipulation we don't want.
Or
Everything
to
else,
draw. We don't want to draw either.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's just win our match and let
Yeah,
Eldense
and that's it.
lose, or
it's
let's just win our match and we're done. And it doesn't matter if they lose, if they win.
just win the match.
Um,
Let Chris go have his party after the game, and that's all we
yeah,
want.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what we want.
Although I'm not thinking I've passed the age of going to Malaga City Center until 6 o'clock in the morning already. That leaves me probably dead on Monday when I have to work. But yeah, let's do the thing we have, because we already lost a match point, and let the second match point towards safety be the one. Sergio, I'm going to thank you for this preview podcast. And can I get a Vamos Malaga?
Yep. Well, first of all, thank you for having me once again. And yeah, vamos Malaga.
Joe, I have nothing left to pluck. If there is anything in this whole world you could pluck, what would it be?
One thing. What else is going on? Let's get the Gidicast TikTok page rocking. Send us over your ideas. And also one thing I want to say: how good does Chris look with that microphone? We want to get using his microphone more as well.
Yeah,
So let us know
Yeah.
what you want to see in TikTok.
I know. We
And
have
we
to
want to
get
get
that.
this microphone
We have to get
back
that
up.
microphone on the streets.
Yes, that's what we want to see. Maybe hopefully one day I'll be there as well to on the streets more regularly.
With the microphone.
Yes, sir. But no, like I said, let's be positive for the game. I hope you both enjoy it. And yeah, you can't see me, but I have my fist in the air saying "Vamos Malaga."
Thank you. This was the Giricast preview show towards Malaga against Sporting de Gijon. Don't forget to like us. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to rate us. And my name is Chris Marquez, and you have been listening to the Gearycast. Vamos Malaga.